What's going on, everybody? Birdman here with another Titan build. Today, I made another Solar Titan build. Had a lot of people complain about me using Heart of Inmost Light, so I decided to dive right deep into my vault and find an exotic that you guys would appreciate. And I think I found it. And it's the Hollow Fire Heart. It is a pretty solid exotic all around. I'm having a lot of fun using this setup. Now, before I get into the setup and everything you need for this build, you can follow me over on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at Birdman778. I really appreciate a thumbs up on this video, subscribing to the channel, and just let me know down below how you like this setup and if you have any other ones that you're interested in checking out. But let's dive right on into it. So with any build, obviously the subclass is going to be one of the cornerstones of the entire setup. So let's talk about Sunbreaker, what you need for this entire setup. For this, it really does not matter what super you have, because you are never going to even touch it if you are using this exotic properly. So, but I have on Hammer of Soul. Rally Barricade is one of my favorites just because of its fast uptime. You want to have Throwing Hammer for the fact it gives you that fast cure and you're able to immediately pick it back up. But don't worry, with the Hollow Fire Heart, you're able to get this back pretty fast, even if you lose it. We are also using the Firebolt Grenade. We are taking advantage of a bunch of different spots in our artifact, and we're going to use this. I actually love it. It's got a really quick cooldown, and it does a lot of cool ignitions and scorching and all that good stuff. For the aspects, I'm running Roaring Flames for that increased damage. Once we get those 3 stacks, this is going to really help out with the exotic weapon we're using in this build as well. And then we are going to be going into Soul Invictus so that we're getting, Solar Ability Final Blows, Hammer Soul Impacts, and defeating scorched targets create sunspots. The sunspots are just like mini wither hordes all around the map that you're constantly able to create. It's going to give you restoration. It's going to help you with your healing. It's going to help you with damage. It's just really great all around. It's why I think Solar Titan might be the best. I mean, I'm a Void Boy through and through, but man, Solar Titan is so much fun. Going to our fragments, we're using Ember Torches. Powered melee attacks against combatants make you nearby allies radiant. We really like that radiant because it gives us that intrinsic barrier, but it also gives us a little bit more damage. Next, we're gonna do Emperor Tempering. I kind of like this one just because we are using a solar weapon for the most part throughout this entire setup. Solar weapon final blows grant you and your allies increased recovery for a short duration, stacks 3 times. While using Temper Mail is active, you get more airborne effectiveness, and while having that active, solar weapon final blows create fire sprites. We like fire sprites. When picked up, we get some grenade energy, and it's just going to help out, again, this entire flow of this build, constantly chucking all these fire bolts around the area. Next is going to be Ember of Char. Solar ignitions spreads scorch nearby targets. This is just great because we're getting ignitions off the fire bolts. This is going to ensure that everyone's constantly scorching up the place and having that ticking damage on them. And then finally, Ember of Searing, defeating scorched targets grants melee energy and creates a fire sprite. The melee energy part, I mean, you can absolutely swap into Hammer Strike if you want. You would get plenty of energy because of the exotic that we're using and all the stuff down below. But Throwing Hammer is just too much fun. For the weapons, top spot, it's pretty much up to you. I kind of bounce between a submission, deliverance. Just been having fun using double special. Post raid is just a really fun setup, and the creme de la creme weapon of this setup is going to be the Prometheus Lens. This is an exotic trace rifle. It's got a perk Flame. Refraction kills with this weapon return a fraction of the ammo used to the magazine from reserves, extending the beam's duration. I really enjoy this because you are constantly just mowing down enemies, and you never really pretty much go past like 50 ammo, and then once you kill somebody, it just gonna shoot right back up to 100. But the Prismatic Inferno intrinsic trait is the most important part. Fires a solar trace beam that creates a field of heat energy that grows as the weapon is fired. Sustained damage applies scorched targets. Easy way for us to constantly apply scorch for this entire setup, getting that flow with our subclass as well. I absolutely have been so for the Prometheus Lens for so long, and having a setup where it just genuinely fits is so fun. Heavy slots, pretty much the same thing. I have been just so hot for this Regnant grenade launcher. It's got explosive light, it's got envious assassin, super fun new perk, spike grenades, just really fun to use. Now for this entire part of the build, what you need to put in all your armor slots and everything like that, I will actually have a dim link for this over in my Discord, so if you are interested, you can go over there and get that. But for this, on the head, I decided to go with hands-on, 2 of those. We are constantly using our throwing hammer a lot until we get our super filled, so this is an easy way to get that extra energy. You absolutely can use ashes to assets as well, since you're doing so many grenades. It's just, if you're using throwing hammer, you're going to consistently have that, so it's going to be a more effective way to get that charged up, in my opinion. And then also solar siphon, so that we're constantly getting those orbs whenever we're killing enemies with our Prometheus lens. Going to the arms, I decided to go with impact reduction. Causing damage with a melee attack reduces your grenade cooldown. Obviously flowing in, making sure we're constantly getting those fire bolts. I mean, I'm chucking like two or so at a time, a lot of times, and then I'll just like hit like 2 or 3 enemies with a hammer, and then I have both of them pretty much back, so it's really nice. Obviously, we want to get a lot of orbs for this build, so I decided to go firepower and heavy-handed on it just to get that consistent flow with that. Now, the Hollow Fire Heart, its ability, Sunfire Furnace, improves the recharge rate of your solar abilities, greatly improves recharge rate while your super is charged, provides a small benefit to airborne effectiveness stat of all weapons. By the way, this build actually has really good airborne effectiveness because we're getting it from this as well as one of our fragments. So it's actually really fun. Maybe jump around a little bit. Definitely suggest that. But with this one, I added on charged up, so we're getting some more armor charge stacks. And then I decided to do double concussive dampener. We're constantly getting cure and restoration from this setup, so this is going to help with just a little bit more, durability. Going to our legs, I decided to go with stacks on stacks so that we're absolutely always getting max stacks as much as we humanly can, and did 2 solar weapon surges to get extra 17.5% damage on our Prometheus lens. And then finally on our Titan mark, I decided to go with just 3 distributions. Definitely need to use this more often in different ways. You can definitely swap in like some time dilations instead, just to have those extra uptime on your charges. But this spot is pretty much up to you. A quick look at our artifact mod. Honestly, you can go all this. I just definitely recommend getting the grenades perk, getting the solar perk, getting solar surge, so that you're getting armor charges from those sprites as well. And then definitely have to get both flare up, so that firebolt grenades apply more scorch stacks. Damaging combatant with a firebolt grenade spawns a fire sprite near them. More fire sprites, just absolutely synergizing with the setup. And then rain of firebolts, so that we're getting that extra charge. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you guys really enjoy it. Please let me know down below if you like this setup, what you might want to change a little bit with it. Just some good, comprehensive notes I'm always appreciative of. But also let me know other setups you're interested in looking into. You can follow me on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at Birdman778. And just giving a thumbs up and subscribing to the channel. Maybe become a member if you want. That's up to you. I've been doing a lot of views on these last few videos, so I really appreciate it, guys. Again, just give me feedback. I love y'all. I hope you have a great night, day, or whatever it may be.